Good morning, this is Kelley Hobart from Alpaca Direct, and I'm here on Tech Tank Tuesday to share with you my felted slippers I've been working on. I hope you all had a great week, and I know the 4th of July is coming up and the weather is beautiful outside, so I haven't been doing quite as much knitting, but I was able to work on my felted slippers. And I was so curious when I was doing this felting project because I have a front-loading wash machine. And I was wondering if it would work because I had heard from a lot of people that the front loaders don't felt as well. And so I took a quick look at my washing machine on the front of it, and there's a speed wash that's 15 minutes long. And so I went ahead and did my slippers using that 15-minute wash. And I'll let you know how it works as we're going along. Let us know where you're from, what you're working on, and you can be entered to win a contest that we have every week. And this last week it was for Yarn Cozy, these cute little stars that I thought would be cute for 4th of July. And this actually keeps your little cakes of yarn from falling apart. Say you have a little bamboo pop or whatever, and that cotton yarn with the bamboo is a little bit slippery. You could slide the yarn right into these little yarn cozies and it'll keep it safe and sound and it won't tie up into knots.
So Helen Marie Brown just checked in. She says hi. She's from Southwest Oklahoma.
Hi,
got a bunch of people coming online.
Good morning, Helen. So nice to have you with us. That's wonderful to have you here.
Debbie Doctor says she's working on the sorbet shawl. You know about that?
Oh yes, the sorbet shawl was our knit club project for this last week, and we are going to be closing for the one for this month.
Last month.
Last month. And the one for this month will be closing soon, right, Jim?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we are working away on that shawl, and I just love using that bamboo pop. It creates a wonderfully soft fabric and a great summertime project. So that bamboo is nice and cool, and it just knits up beautifully. So I'm really enjoying that, and I haven't quite finished mine yet because, like I said, I've been outside a lot, and we went on a little camping trip, right, Jim?
Mm-hmm.
And we got to visit our granddaughter Evie and Brandon and Meg and a whole bunch of families. So it was wonderful fun. So
mention
anyway.
the lace and stuff and all the videos that you did.
Yes, for each of the knit clubs, every month when we do the knit club, I'll be doing videos that support each project that helps you actually complete the project, and maybe some things that you hadn't thought about that you could use to help you along the way to make it easier to do and to complete. And so I have created, close to 10 videos just for this one project, and it's available just to the knit club members. So it was fun. This is a great project, and I'm looking forward to next month's. And next month's project is a little bit easier, and it is like group knitting. You can use it when you're with your friends and not have any problems with getting lost or off track.
And that's your own
yes.
exclusive pattern, right?
Yes. It's one here just for Alpaca Direct that I wanted something that was using beautiful yarn, and it complements the yarn just perfectly. So I'm excited to share that with you. Anyway, so this project that we're doing this week is by Tiny Owl Knits, and we have it here on Alpaca Direct. We have the patterns available for sale, and the lady's name is Stephanie Dozen. And if you look in YouTube under the Moonkusa Boots pattern, she has a YouTube video, and she is so funny. This lady has loads of character, and she has a kitty cat, and she's talking to her kitty, and it's just really, she's very entertaining. So if you wanted a little entertainment, search her name or the Moonkusa boot pattern under YouTube, and it'll come up. And yeah, I really enjoyed, I could watch her all day because she's just really unique. You'll love watching it if you see it. At least I think you will, because I did. Anyway, so with these felted, I'm still experimenting with felting. I've done some felting. I haven't done a lot of felting, but I thought, geez, it would be nice to make felted alpaca. This is Ultra Alpaca Chunky, and it's the prize for this week. And this is what I made my boots out of. And it's 50% alpaca, 50% Peruvian Highland wool by the Baracco Yarn Company. And it is a great product I love it for slippers because it's particularly warm. It has like the longevity, the characteristics of wool, so it gives it some longevity. And it has 50% alpaca, so it has the warmth of alpaca as well. So this product is great for doing quick knitted slippers and stuff like that. I use that. You've worn yours for quite a while now, right, Jim?
Mm-hmm.
The ones that I made for you.
Now that new pattern is available on our website, right?
Which one?
The Mancusa boots?
Yeah, I talked about that. We have it on the Alpaca Direct.
Oh, okay.
Yes, this is available on our website.
So Kathleen can post the link to it there too.
Yes, absolutely. Kathleen, who helps us with all of a lot of our marketing stuff, she'll be taking care of you and making sure that's in the link. And so this is the actual pattern that you would get. And
it's a printed pattern,
by
right?
Tiny Owl Knits, and she does a good job. This is a super quick knit. When I was knitting I literally could knit a boot less than 2 hours, and so it was very quick. I mean, in an evening you can do the 2 boots, and then they'll be ready to felt. And then what I did with mine, I alluded to this before, is that I used that quick cycle, and you can see my hair that I have here. It tells you it gives you some purl rounds, and you put the fringe on it, on the purl bumps. On this one, I was just testing it, so I didn't put a lot of fringe, but I will be adding much more. I think it's good to add it really close to each other and put a lot on. Now these were just test boots to see what it was like, but the fabric that it creates is oh gosh, I don't know, it's thick. It's a very thick pattern fabric, and it is super soft to the touch. And so I'm really looking forward to being able to make these for gifts. And I want to put double rows of fringe on it. And like I said, this pattern goes all the way from the mini short ones all the way up to tall boots if you wanted really tall ones. Now, when I'm at home, we keep our house at between 70 and 73. And so it might be a little hot for the tall boots, right, Jim? We might not be able to wear them very long. So I don't think I'll be making the tall boots, but I sure like these short ones. And using my front load washing machine, back to that, my front load washing machine, I was skeptical about whether or not that would work. So I tried the pot on the stove with warm water, actually fairly warm water, and a bit of the soap, dish soap, and then I was trying that, and all it was is kind of splashing water around the kitchen and making a mess, and it wasn't really felting all that quickly. So I thought, well, let me see how short of a cycle I have on my washing machine. And like I said, it's a front loader, but I found a 15-minute speed cycle. It's called speed cycle, or short quick cycle. And so I used that, and I actually had to use it like 4 times. So what I did to start with, let me show them how I braided. Well, I took this fringe, and now this is, this has been through the wash machine several times. The trick is you don't want it to felt into huge clumps, right? You want it to maintain, and I haven't done anything with this. I could take a dog comb and separate it out more, but I haven't actually done anything with it at all. But it stayed pretty nice, and I'll show you what I did. I used to have horses, and I French braided their hair all the time, and so I thought, I'll just take this fringe and French braid it, just kind of braid it like I would braid the horse's tail. So I just, started braiding, and then I would keep going along. Now, mind you, this actual, let me try this one that's a little bit longer. This one I trimmed a little shorter, so my strands were like 7 inches long, so they were like down to here. So I braided them using, so I would just go along here, and then every time I had that one to the edge, then I grabbed another strand, and then I would bring it over, and then I would grab another strand, and then bring that over, and I would do it all the way around the sock. And what this did is kept the actual strands of yarn from felting with each other. It kept it from felting. Like I ran it through 30 minutes. It did the 15-minute cycle twice, and it kept the yarn, it was not felted at all when I took it apart. And I was just experimenting, so I wasn't sure what I was going to get. So you get the benefit of my experimentation. And I'll show you what this looks like. And I went all the way around until I got to the very end. And then what I did is I just twisted it around, or got it into a little lump.
Why don't you hold
like
it up so
so.
you can see it?
And this is just part of it that I'm doing with you. And I use the little tiny hair bands that I use for the stitch markers, the really tiny ones. And so it worked better than this one. I just grabbed this from the back of the warehouse, and it's too much rubber band. And then when I went through the wash machine a couple of times, I just took scissors and cut it. But see, this is what it did. It maintained it all the way along and kept it from felting. And then when I wanted to undo it, it came undone with no problem at all. And like I said, that was with a total of 30 minutes of a wash machine, and it had no felting at all. So that was a great technique. I had seen other people, see what I like to do on these patterns is I find it on Ravelry, or and I look anywhere that has reviews, and I read the reviews of all the people that have done it. And one person had said to put aluminum foil over the top of the actual edge where the yarn is, but the aluminum foil, when I put it in the washer, it came off. So with this French braiding, it doesn't come off. So using this technique, it doesn't come off and it doesn't come apart, and it keeps it from felting. So anyway, I thought that was great. And also on here, when you're doing this pattern, it has you do a whole bunch of seaming. It's a project that's knit flat and you have to seam, and she just tells you to whip stitch as if you're a 3-year-old. Just put it together, however you want to put it together, because when it starts felting, you can't even see where you can just see a slight mark of where the pieces went together, but really nothing at all, nothing worth mentioning. And so she was right. When you go to seam don't be afraid of doing a flat project and seaming this when you're doing felting, because boy, it closed right up, tightened right up, and looked great. So don't let seaming put you off. So that was a super fun project to do. I'm going to be doing a bunch more of these. And the only thing I was thinking on mine, I might jump down a needle size on mine, because like these little guys are just a little tiny bit big on my feet, because I wear between a 5 and a 5.5. I might, I used a number 13 needle to get gauge. I might go to 11 and see if I can make it a little bit smaller, just because for me it took quite a bit of felting to even get it close to my size. And also another thing that you guys might want to mention as you're when you're doing your projects is just to keep track of what the length of your actual boot was before you felted it, and the width, and then what it was after. So you can kind of get an idea of if my boot is 11 inches, it'll shrink 9 inches, and then you'll have an idea who it will fit if you're doing gifts for people. So that's always something to keep in mind. And what else was it that I learned from doing this that was good? I know that when on this one part, it says repeat rows 4 and 5, it is having you do some length on the actual slipper. It's making the length from the front to the back. It says 26 rows or 5.5 inches. And I think I did 21 rows, and it was closer to 6 inches. So maybe my gauge was a little bit looser. I was right in between 11 and the 13 that I needed. I think 11 for me was a little tight and 13 was a little big. So anyways, neither here nor there. I did keep track of it, so I won't need to, I'll know what I need to do for next time. And as we're going along, you guys, if you're sharing your projects, please do that and let us know what you're working on. And if you have great patterns that you are working on, please share with us, because we love getting ideas from you, and I use them for projects that I do for future Facebook Lives. Yes, Jim?
Oh, so there's a note from Miss Dahlia. She's part of your knit club.
Oh, nice.
And she said, thank you for all the step-by-step videos to get through the project.
Oh, you're welcome, Miss Dahlia. That's wonderful. It's totally my pleasure. I want you guys to have fun, and since I have done the project and I have gleaned a little bit information from doing the actual projects, I love to share that with you, so that you can, have the wisdom of whatever I learned from whatever project I'm working on. I mean, whatever I do, it may not be the same for you. You might need something else, but it just gives you a different perspective and something else to think about. And if it works for you and you can use it, that's great. Totally awesome. So anyway, So for this week, the prize for this week is for 2 skeins of this Ultra Alpaca Chunky. I thought someone might be able to do felted slippers of their own. And so I have a choice of the red or blue, and I thought these were good color choices because of 4th of July coming up. I don't know, I thought it was kind of cool. So anyways, if you think that we should give the winner the red color, vote red. And if you think we should get the blue color to the winner, vote blue. And then it depends on how many people share it, and whichever one gets the most votes is the one that we send to the winner, huh, Jim?
Yep.
So anyways, so that's great. And then you guys don't forget about our VIP Facebook group, because we have a wonderful group of knitters there that are totally supportive of your projects. If you need help and you're wondering about something and anything at all, any questions that you might have, the wonderful knitters share with each other and they offer their wisdom. And there are some fantastic knitters out there. So thank you, all of you out there who share and help our fellow knitters, because that just makes us better knitters, and then we get more excited about projects, and so on it grows. So it's totally awesome. And it's actually why I'm here, because I love sharing with people, and I like knitting too, and I love to learn. So all great things. For this next week, I was thinking that I might do this Snakes and Ladder pattern, and this is one by Elizabeth McCartan, and I am particularly interested in this heel. It's a garter stitch heel. Okay, and the reason why I like that heel so much is, you know how I have that slipper pattern that uses, I think it's from Elizabeth Zimmerman. It is a double knitting sole without double knitting. It's like a knit one, purl one, and anyways, and then a slip stitch, and they combine those 2 rows to make this wonderful pattern that is double thick on the bottom of your foot. So I was thinking, if I can do this sock pattern, it's from the cuff down, and do it to the heel, and then begin that double knit without double knitting pattern on the bottom of the foot, and then maybe maintain this this nice little pattern on the top of the foot, it would make cute little socks. And I was thinking I might, oh gosh. Okay, so you guys know that one of my favorite yarns is Zen Garden. And there are many reasons for this, but one of them is it's super comfortable to wear socks made from this company. The yarn is hand painted and it's beautiful. It is a wonderful blend of superwash merino, 20% cashmere, and 10% nylon. And these are my favorite socks of all the socks that I've knitted. Every time I knit ones with the Zen Garden, they're my favorite.
Are those the custom colors too?
This one is Coeur d'Alene. This one is called Flushed. It's not a color. But we do have a couple custom colors that we had Jim, we had the colors dyed for us because Jim had taken this, he had taken his camera and taken some beautiful pictures of Lake Coeur d'Alene or Hayden?
Both.
Yes, both of them. Let me just show you. I'm going to move out of the camera for 1 second because I see the yarn right behind you, Jim. Let me just look. And for local people who are in this area, we do have yarn bowls that are made by this wonderful lady that's here locally. And she has been making these beautiful yarn bowls for us. So for locals who want to come in the store and shop for yarn bowls, she does a great job. She'll do anything that you want, basically. If you wanted something special, she could do that for you. So this is Hayden Lake in the winter. And then this one doesn't have the picture in it. Oh, this one right here is Hayden Lake in the fall. And those are pictures that Jim took with the camera, which is some of the reasons why we love living in this area so much. The scenery here is fantastic. And we have a boat that is right next to Hayden Lake, and we get to go out on the water. And you know, everywhere else, my sister, she's in Redding right now, and I know that it's well over 100. And it's super, super hot. And here it's been, what is it, about 70 degrees?
72, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a little cooler, about 72. But, I mean, it's totally yard working weather. You can go outside all day and you don't get too hot, you don't get too cold, you can eat outside. We go out on our couch out on the back deck, and it is Beautiful. So that is one of the reasons we love living here so much. All right. So now what have I missed? Oh, I missed the winner for last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the winner for last week is Karen Bosley Huter?
Mm-hmm.
Karen Bosley Huter, you won. And guess what you won? These wonderful yarn cozy to put around your yarns to keep them intact and behaving themselves. These are wonderful little yarn cozies, and we have several of our knitters that are here at Alpaca Direct that use these all the time. And if you order them, you can't really choose the pattern, although we have customers who put comments in the comment section like, can I have the stars or can I have whatever? And then we try to accommodate. We dig through what we have and give them whatever they would like. But these are great yarn cozies, and they're very similar to a sock. If you don't have the money for your yarn cozy, you could go into your drawer and grab a sock, and it'll do similar to the same thing. All right.
Or a glass.
Yes, or a root beer mug, which is what I used when I was traveling. And that works great too. I am very practical, so for me, usually it's something that I have at home. I try to figure out, I'm walking around the kitchen going, where is the container that is the dimensions that I need it to be? Yeah, super practical, don't like to waste. So here I am. So as we're finishing up here, don't forget to post comments in the comment section. Let us know what you're working on. And we will have you entered to win the prize for this week, which is our Barocco Ultra Alpaca Chunky, which I love this yarn for slipper socks and leggings and all different kinds of things. I've used it for a ton of projects and totally love that yarn. So to me, felting I thought was really intriguing, and using this Ultra Alpaca yarn is the perfect yarn for felting. Oh my gosh, it gives a fabric that is so super nice. So if you have a felting project that requires a chunky or bulky weight yarn, use the Ultra Alpaca Chunky. It's in the right price point, very reasonably priced, and a high quality product for what it is. And on this pattern, it'll tell you at the bind off. It will say, be sure to bind off, don't bind off too tightly, right? Well, I'm here to tell you, consider this when you're knitting. On the last knit row or purl row or what have you, right before you bind off, if you think your bind off might be too tight, add a few stitches. I added 4 stitches to my bind offs, and you know what? I didn't have to worry about binding off too tight because these slippers are not too tight. So, and I do that often. When a pattern says be careful not to bind off too tightly, I just automatically add either anywhere from 5% more stitches to 10% more stitches. And I don't get too scientific about it. I will add a few stitches, and you can't tell that I added stitches, but you certainly can tell that it's not too tight. So it helps you get your boots on your feet. And now the next thing I'm going to be working on with these, and I have that in process right now. So I got this lovely pattern here, and it's for felting, and I'm sitting here thinking, what about my patterns that I already have that I make boots with? Couldn't I just use a larger needle with them and turn them into a felted slipper pattern instead of a regular slipper pattern? So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm knitting up some slippers to see on my regular slipper pattern, and I'm using my number 13 needles and that chunky weight yarn that the pattern calls for, because that's what my pattern calls for, and I'm going to see if I can actually get the same results. So I thought that was interesting. Anyways, I'll have to let you know how that works out, but that's what I'm trying. So next week you can stay tuned for socks, unless there might be, I might have a little problem where I might not be able to do Facebook Live on Tuesday, but don't assume that. Assume that I'm going to be here, and if not, it'll be because I'm going to that funeral. And my sister's brother,
her husband's brother.
Is it considered her brother-in-law?
It's her husband's brother.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes. Has passed away, so I have to go to a funeral. So I will either see you this next Tuesday or the Tuesday after, and we will be talking about socks. So, and I'll be talking about that double knitting without double knitting. So you take care and have a great 4th, and I will talk to you soon.